Esports and Aurora. And we can see almost immediately Renegade on that show, looking for info, scouting for potential ways to actually harm the rotations, the planning of Falcon. On that Suyo, we have to really pay attention here and see how this plays out, because the Fanny definitely has a lot more threat due to the spammability of spells, but Suyo, you know, is really also a very flexible hero in its own right. And looking at the emblems, you can see the tenacities for the Sicilian and the Granger. Like Eternal was mentioning, they are the vulnerable, glaring targets here for the Fanny to go for. And that Fanny is running the Thrill with the Assassin emblem, and actually the Impure Rage as well.
And an emblem to jungle as well. Usually you kind of see one or two Master Assassin on towards the Fanny, but he wants to go for more farming here, Mr. Demon Kite. And this top lane matchup, Rashi, this is... It might look like Royal Milk is winning right now, but the longer the game goes, I think it's gonna be easier for Edward.
I mean, I think we have to acknowledge that Phoveus is just really menacing in lane, by all means. So Edward, I think, has to wait for a bit more items, at least, if he already wants to really be that big menacing threat. He has the Vengeance, though, so you have to keep in mind. Royal Milk can make plays happen, but Edward, you know, he has an extra bit of tankability, and that might... Oh, hang on a minute! Completely missed it, but Benny gets assassinated in the bottom side.
I mean, this is why you don't leave Fanny open. It doesn't really matter who uses it. If you're in MPL, in one of the top leagues, it's still gonna be a really good Fanny player at the end of the day, and this is the thing that you can abuse.
And looking at the rotations, it seems like Falcon Esports are more focused on the mid lane, and it kind of makes sense, right? The mid lane is just a bit more relevant, especially in the early game, and they go for the turtle, and they're gonna get it for free immediately. Aurora, despite having the kill earlier, not really too concerned about letting it go for now, possibly to try and get something in exchange afterwards.
Yeah, play by your strength is what Demon Cut is trying to say, and it looks like he wants to steal this one. Can Dex actually get there in time, or Royal Milk spot this one up? And Royal Milk already there. Demon Kite use some of the cables to fasten the jungle. It looks like Demon Kite's gonna get that one, and also the kill as well towards Royal Milk. Beautiful implosion on towards 2, but no follow-up just yet. Dax is the only lone member. Beautiful kick by Renegade as the nail in the coffin. In that team fight, it's a full-on W for Aurora.
Just like that, 3 kills for Aurora in that small engagement. Man, out of nowhere, by forcing the hand of Falcon Esports in their orange buff, that was a great move by Aurora, and even the dive coming in, facilitated by Renegade, that was some great chow mechanics. And just like that, Falcon Esports, they knew it wasn't going to be an easy early game, but it's looking dangerous, man. Aurora has so many more tools available.
Yeah, Renegade, and he is very brave in the front line, still has the Shunpo, and also the first skill, Jitkunto to get away, and he's fine, Arashi. Don't worry about it. Demon Kite, Blade of Hephaestus, that's a power spike if I've ever seen one.
It's a great power spike, and again, now if you're, especially if you're Kid X on the side of Falcon Esports, you gotta be concerned. Where are you supposed to kind of sit around and look for info and kind of provide vision for your team? Who exactly do you use your spells on? Do you use it on Renegade? Do you use it on Demon Kite? There's so many threats flashed by Aurora here, especially if it goes down to a neutral objective setup. So Falcon Esports, do they still want to maintain this neutral objective domination? Dax has the advantage due to the missing HP execute mechanic of the Suyo, but at what cost can they secure these neutral objectives?
Yeah, I think Renegade, I don't think they have enough punishing damage if Renegade did get overextended. And Yue taking a bit of shots there from Mr. Dax. Edward and Renegade trying to set this one up.
Wow, I mean, Demon Cat isn't even here. He's taken the orange buff away from Falcon Esports, and only now, he's making his way down. Despite all that time, Falcon Esports are unable to secure it or even get any significant control around this turtle pit as Edward just shreds people down. Oh, Royal Milk goes in.
Royal Milk goes in, taking a lot of damage though. Still has the Vengeance as well. 1 kill secured for Royal Milk. Still in the front line, taking the damage, but no, Yue still survives with 1 HP.
Oh!
It looks like Dex will be able to get this turtle just fine. No contest whatsoever. It's overall a W for Falcon Esports in that one.
For a second there, I thought that UA's Eternal Guard was going to steal the turtle, but no way Falcon Esports would let that happen. Out of nowhere, Royal Milk on the signature Phoveus goes in, wreaks havoc, survives for, I think, longer than anyone expected, and because of that, the rest of the team for Aurora is forced to kind of respond to it, and that allows Falcon Esports so much more window to actually go in and go for those kills instead. I think with both teams playing this aggressively, it's never really going to be a steal scenario, Shevin. They're going to be setting up around the neutral objectives, and then they're going to immediately go for these pickoffs, man. Because both teams have tools available to do so.
Man, shout out to Royal Milk. That was an intelligent play, macro play from Aurora, by the way. Just hanging by around the turtle, but it looks like Demon Cat was not actually there, delaying enough time to be able to actually fight in the turtle properly, but Royal Milk just turns the narrative run, and they get 2 turrets here, Falcon Esports, Rashi.
Great value for them for sure, but all things considered, Demon Kite has been stealing away a lot of camps from Falcon Esports. I mean, Dax really is quite behind gold-wise. Oh, and look at this, Royal Milk. Oof, that's the front line, by the way.
Yeah. Well, Heptasis is there. Interesting enough, Royal Milk, no, not Royal Milk. Demon Kite actually wants to go for War X, I believe. But Dax actually goes for Hunter Strike for his item without the War X. So, bit of a switcheroo in items, I guess.
Just wanting to get a bit more damage available, more movement speed, I guess, for Benny, right? Knowing that he is one of the big targets for Aurora. We'll have to see and wait. It seems like both these teams, despite the aggression and mechanics available to both teams, they're really content playing it relatively slow until the neutral objective is on the table. So they're really trying to be economic with their resources, their skills and cooldowns. And once again, it's a dance, but Falcon pulling the trigger.
Not much of a dance if one only is participating. Now, Edward gonna get pounced on, posted on towards one. It doesn't look like it's a good one for Falcon Esports as Demon Cat gets a kill as well. And it looks like the W will be achieved by Aurora.
Oh boy.
Royal Milk caught in no man's land. I don't think he's gonna be able to escape from this one. Meanwhile, Demon Kite still searching for the kill. Royal Milk might have to send his last regards.
Oof, just getting locked down, terrified just like that. Falcon Esports, that fight, I think they were expecting it to go more in their favor. Benny!
Oh my goodness, that's not even half energy from Demon Kite and doesn't have that purple buff as well. He's still popping off.
It's snowballing Fanny, man. Absolutely an issue for Falcon right now. Purple buff getting contested, and Renegade just zones everyone away. It's gonna be taken away easily by Aurora. And this is, I think, something that Falcon Esports has to respect. The difference in damage. Even if Falcon Esports are able to take someone out, it's not worth it if they kind of ruin their posture, their formation, right? They have so many vulnerable backliners, and not really a lot of big peel tools, big protection tools. They have to make sure that Royal Milk is the one taking the brunt of that damage, because otherwise, you can see it earlier, despite the whole team of Aurora pushed back so far away, Falcon Esports were the one that lost 3 members in that turtle engagement.
Yeah, because Demon Cat can pretty much catch up to any team fight out there as long the
So can
energy
Edward.
allows it. Yeah.
So can Demon Kite.
Yeah, and oh man, that was the implosion. Do you think it should be used as more of a like defensive tool rather than offensive tool? Especially when you only get one in Edward at the time?
Because you only got one shot, do not miss your chance to blow. Man, I mean, the implosion is definitely a very important tool right here, but I think there's value in it being used defensively for sure, man, because there's no way. If they don't really use it defensively, how exactly are you going to make use of all this range and poke potential from the Granger and the Sicilian, right? Even if they don't really get a big engage off, they're not a team or a team composition that really requires that big wombo combo to really succeed in these fights.
Okay, Falcon Esports actually still very confident to take this one, considering that they have a Suya compared to Fanny by Aurora. PX7 getting some good chunk towards Renegade, already 3/4 of his HP, 3/4. Now Dax on the other side though, already half HP as well. They're gonna reset this one.
So in theory, the longer the dance goes, there's more chances for Falcon Esports to really poke down the HP bars of Aurora. But looking at the wave on the top side there, Aurora is perfectly happy to just stand here and get free value, but this is Falcon going for it.
Domenkite. Oh, Flicker implosion on towards Domenkite. and it's gonna be a kill on towards the Earthel. Renegade with a kick on towards the members of Falcon Esports, and it's also Sicilian. The fight is gonna be won by Aurora, Demon Kite out of nowhere. Now Dex will try to get away from Renegade, and only 2 left on the table for Falcon Esports.
That is crazy, man. The fight has concluded at that point. Falcon Esports were backing away, unwilling to engage any further with Aurora. But when you have a Fanny on your team, Demon Kite on your team as well, that is what can happen. He just goes in and deletes Benny. No negotiations, man. He just makes sure that he forces the issue. So Falcon Esports, I think they are really recognizing that despite the items, the mechanics, as long as one of their vulnerable members are left alone, they're pretty much as good as done if Demon Kite gets his hands on them.
And any equal trade is favoring Falcon Esports, right? Because you have Sicilian. And Aurora, how do you break this stalemate knowing that you're mostly not going to be able to win the Retribution battle or like the objective battle? Yes, you get the kills, but the Lord, it's still going to be a stalemate, right?
I feel like the Lord being given to Falcon Esports, one, it allows them to really, get an advantage, get some waves going, right? But at the same time, it's also taken away from the side of Aurora to end the game before Falcon Esports can scale even further into the late game. So I think if you're Aurora here and you have this pretty significant gold advantage, you can really go and force the issue, go for some fights, and instead of obliging Falcon Esports for those 50-50 situations, I mean, they've shown that they can make big fights happen off the back of Renegade or even Demon Kite just going straight in.
Oh, just in time, the recalls. Now Renegade wants to pull the trigger on towards another member of Falcon Esports. They will be able to recall here. They're not gonna just go for that one. Aura doesn't have the vision.
Wow, they were really respecting the potential for Falcon Esports to punish them if they overextended there. Looking at the items here, Wishing Lantern completed for the Sicilian. For PX7, that's a lot of damage, man. Again, that max HP damage from the Wishing Lantern can be procced multiple times. So there's a scenario here where one bad impact does a ton of damage, and out of nowhere you lose 20-30% of your HP. So Aurora, especially the frontline like Edward, needs to respect that. And for now, he has a Brute Force Breastplate and the War Axe, but he is not really right there when it comes to the magical defense. And the same can be said for Renegade, only the Antique Cuirass. So PX7, this is his moment to shine right here. There's a lot of scenarios where he can really make or break the game for his team.
Yeah, I think for me it's about the roamer, man. Can they actually use some impulsion in a really good way? And Benny chucking Renegade off. Still has that flicker to get away. Benny actually did not build Wind of Nature, Rashi, despite having Fanny in his face, and also Domain Guide and Edward pointing the gun at him.
Yeah, they're relying more on execution, more than itemization to really solve that problem, but now again, they're the ones forcing the issue.
Beautiful implosion, and Irithel is out of the picture. Demon Kite will not be able to get anything out of this one, and once again, you get a scare Rashi from the Eternal card.
Man, I mean, dude, how nice is it to be playing for Falcon right now when you have a Retribution that is that reliable? I mean, of course, he's on the Suyo. It's not really a fair comparison. But man, at every moment, it seems like Falcon Esports are playing knowing that when it comes to a 50-50, the Lord is as good as theirs every single time. And that's why it's forcing Aurora to try and find something, to try and make something happen. And that's where, they might overstep just a little bit. And right there, Shevin, you were asking about using the implosion defensively or aggressively. Answer is both.
And so far, Domain God has been on the end of the receiving target, and man oh man, is this even a gold lead earlier? 4K gold lead? It is a gold lead, but is it a quote-unquote lead for you, Rashi?
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, like, it's 4K gold lead, but it doesn't feel like Aurora is playing by that, or like, by the numbers showed.
Right, I mean, again, if you look at the instant replay right here, as you can see, hit X, just waiting for the, and in theory, right, why would Domain Kite be the one to open up that bush? But this is because there's just so many things happening at the same time. Falcon Esports are able to just force Aurora to react at such a split second. It's just difficult. Now with the Lord, they can poke down, they can siege down. Oh, what is this?
Oh my goodness gracious. Renegade went for that one, but he's gonna pay for that. Demon Kite trying to flank this one. Not much HP coming in. Oh, beautiful implosion on towards Mr. Demon Kite, and that's a kill for Falcon Esports. Edward, and the end of the bullets from Benny. And it looks like a W once again for Falcon Esports. My goodness.
That is a very ambitious play from both Renegade and Demon Kite. The multi-person flank, the dash from the Cho into multiple members. Oh, Royal Milk though going low,
that's a
taken
kill.
out.
Towards Royal Milk, Demon Kite or Domain Kite finally gets something for him. And yeah, how do you play this Irithel in the objective battle, Rashi? Because like, I feel like what Domain Kite is trying to do in a lot of these instances is like, it is Irithel, right? You don't want to play front to back just normally because the damage is not gonna translate towards kills if the tank is taking is at the end of it.
Especially if you're not really winning out, like in the sustainability battle, your tank is getting chunked down with bad impacts and stuff, max HP damage. Can you really match the kind of damage output? The only real idea for the Irithel right here, if he really wants to make a game-deciding play, he needs to move forward, right? If he wants to play the front two back, well, the Granger and the Sicilian are kind of built to do that, and the Irithel not so much. So if the Irithel can maybe dive in the back and play more of like a bursty role, that might be ideal. But to do so, to find those moments, they need to be with the one at the neutral objective first, so that they can have the vision advantage, so they can have the opportunity to set up traps for Falcon Esports to walk into, and maybe then the Domain Kite with the sprint, with the items he has so far, and the Wind of Nature might be able to pull something off.
Yeah, and speaking about vision, man, like this Death Sonata is pretty much a Leslie ult, but better in a way, and you can spam it over and over again to gain vision. So it's hard for Aurora to be not caught up in that vision battle against Falcon Esports as they're once again gunning for the Lord. Falcon Esports already half HP on the Lord. It doesn't look like there's not going to be any contest ever from Aurora, but do they want to pull the trigger? Oh, beautiful kick onto a Stacks, but it could cancel as well from a Kid X. And looks like one kill is going to be secured from Mr. The bit later. Now double kill for Benny. They want to go for this one more. Domain Kite trying to get away from a Sanguine Claw from PX7. He was able to get away from that one. And it is still a W for Falcon Esports.
That was a respectable attempt by Aurora, man. I wish they would do that a bit earlier. They went in after they've seen that Falcon Esports perhaps used some of the cooldowns to burst down and secure that Lord. And then Renegade made the big flicker Way of the Dragon play, but at that point, they were losing out in damage. Their front line just aren't tanky, right? The CC and the Cho aren't exactly frontline durable members. And that's where Falcon Esports has the advantage. And now can they once again go for the brute force angle and just go for the end?
Demon Kite trying to just chunk up some of the Lord HP. Renegade, can he do something here? Only one target is available for this child. The Lord's marching down the bottom lane. Ultimate from Domain Kite, not getting enough damage towards Benny. They still want to go for this one. Oh my goodness, Royal Milk goes in. Demon Kite though getting some solid damage towards the front. And Royal Milk might be getting, getting taken down here. But it looks like Falcon Esports will take this one without any